You agreed to stay away!
I lied.
What's up, Internet? I'm the Big Boss Dog, and today we are going to be beating every DLC boss in Cuphead with the worst damage setup ever on Expert. And for those of you that don't remember what the worst damage setup is, and how could I blame you, it's been almost a week since I've last uploaded. The worst damage setup is Twin Heart Charm, Chaser, and Super Art 2. Twin Heart Charm reduces your damage by 10%. Chaser has the lowest damage per second out of any weapon in Cuphead, including DLC, and Super Art 2 does no damage to enemies. Now the first boss we're gonna fight is Yukon Cornelius's arch rival, Glomstone the Giant. This guy has a few different attacks. First of all the pot in his mouth can send smoke at you, purple or pink. It's very dangerous, especially with the up and down motions of these pillars here. But the worst part about this boss fight is the gnomes on the ground. You're simply not safe if you stay still for too long, because it'll make other gnomes pop out and stab you in the feet. After you deal with the gnomery of the first phase, Glomstone the Giant has a brilliant idea of putting on a sock puppet show, with you as the main attraction. Glomstone, being the very, very talented sock puppet magician that he is, can produce enough force in his fingers to squeeze this little happy sack and fling it at you at incredibly high velocities. Now, if it was just that attack alone, this would be one of the easiest phases in all of Cuphead. But unfortunately, you have to dodge this giant's massive balls while avoiding gnomes coming out from the ground. The gnomes, the second they're out of the ground, have an active hitbox and will damage you. My advice for this round is to save up your super art for when you get cornered like that, and keep an eye on the ground. It's very important to remember that for a challenge like this, you're not trying to do as most damage as you can so you can skip the phases right away before things get difficult. You don't have that luxury. Your only option is to try and stall and wait and drag things out so that you can start the next phase with as much health as possible. Now, after you beat his second phase, he is going to eat you. Do not be alarmed. It is natural and unavoidable. And the final phase takes place in this giant's stomach. Now, to be honest with you, once you get to this part, you're home free. This is the easiest phase of this boss fight. That little uvula-esque thing on top is going to spit a chicken bone or an entire drumstick out. If it spits a drumstick out, the happy dancing skeleton heads are going to eat it and disappear. You won't be able to stand on them any longer. If she spits out the bone, then they're going to ring a bell and you gotta parry them. The only other attack is sometimes a dart will come out through the side via gnome power. So, as long as you keep your wits about you, know when to jump and activate your super, you should get through this on your first try, as I did. Once I got to that part, it was over. And then you can head on over to the next boss. And I gotta say, so far, I'm really liking the DLC. I like the animation, they do some interesting stuff, and Miss Chalice is a fun character. I wish I could play as Miss Chalice for this challenge, but unfortunately she takes up a charm slot. The next fight I did was Mortimer Freeze in Snow Cult Shuffle. Now, I think it's very easy to get trapped by this setup. He throws the little ghost snow creatures, and then he smacks you with the whale. And if you're not fast with the jump and dash combo, it's going to get you. Normally, if you had Smoke Charm or even Miss Chalice's invisibility roll, it wouldn't even be a challenge. You'd simply roll and dash out, and that would be the end of it. But that's part of the challenge. The maneuverability options being taken away, or at least not added, make it a little bit more exciting. Now, the first phase can be kind of tricky to get down, but once you get it down, you shouldn't really have any trouble with it. This second phase, however, can be a total nightmare. It has several different attacks. The first one that I really noticed and really enjoyed, actually, was when he turns into a fridge and shoots out ice cubes and or popsicles. It reminds me a lot of Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards, where if you combine ice enemy powers with electric enemy powers, Kirby would also turn into a fridge and shoot out small food items. Very cool. It can be hard to dodge, but as long as you recognize that that roll move is coming sooner or later, you can kind of stand close to the fridge and just jump over him right away. It simplifies the entire process. The only other move worth noting is when he shoots spikes from the ground, like he's Ra's al Ghul in Batman Arkham City. It's not challenging in the slightest, you just have to jump and dash in that order. I recommend activating the chaser shield every now and then to make sure if any of those angry popsicles try to run into you and give you a brain freeze, you have some slight protection against it. Now, although this phase gave me the most trouble, I think I was able to get it down within about 20 minutes and move on to the next and final phase, the Angry Snowflake. And I think it's very cool that a giant angry snowflake is the final phase of this boss fight. It kind of reminds me of the political party that I disagree with. Am I right, fellow current political party that's popular? Anyways, besides the fact that you should vote for me when I run for president, because we have the same views, this boss fight only has 3 attacks. The first one is this electric eyeball that shoots a vertical beam of light relatively quickly, but you can kind of time it and dash through it once you get used to it. The second attack of note is the ice cream cones. They form an outside ring, then they close in. They can hit you both on the way in or on their way out. And then he has the attack where he shoots out three pails, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what they're supposed to be, but the last time I made an assumption, the comments went wild. So it is whatever it's supposed to be. But once you master these 3 different attacks, this is a very simple boss fight. I guess it could be challenging that he goes from left to right, maybe, if you fell asleep during the boss fight, but Chaser will take care of everything for you. And once you beat this boss, we can move on to the next one. And I gotta say, this next boss fight is probably the most interesting in all of the DLC. We're gonna fight the Howling Aces, the doggone dogfight. Now, 2 things really stood out to me the first time I played this. The first one is I think that guy in the plane is actually the NPC that teaches us how to fight the plane levels in the original game on Inkwell Isle 1. If it is, that's very funny and very creative. I like that this is a plane level without it being a plane level. The other thing that stood out to me was the fact that you can make the plane go left or right depending on the side of the plane you're standing on. I try to position myself in the middle if I don't know where the dog's gonna be next. Another good piece of advice I have is that once you get the phase where he shoots a cat right here with 3 balls of yarn, you can duck under it. This boss fight must have taken me like 30 minutes until I actually understood you could duck under those balls of yarn. And once I could do that and I didn't have to worry about timing, this first phase came to me very, very quickly. I also think it's really cool that they reference the Inkwell Isle 3 Werner Vermin boss fight with that cat, because it looks exactly like it. And I always thought that cat looked like Tom from Tom and Jerry, and now this dog kind of looks like Spike from Tom and Jerry too. I really respect all the homage they pay to these old cartoons, especially since that's 90% of this game's identity. Once you beat Spike though, you gotta deal with the 4 little tykes. These dogs are on jetpacks, and they shoot little bow wows at you, which honestly is hilarious, but it's a very easy phase to go through. It's like a less impactful Wally Warbles phase, when his little son shoots the ray gun at you and has the egg circling him. That's what it reminds me of, but it's not very difficult. And for the third and final phase, and the coolest part of this whole boss fight, you gotta fight what I presume to be the mom dog. She'll literally switch which side you're playing on, and during the live stream when I played this game for the first time, I actually had to tilt my head or I couldn't beat it. It also messes with your controls too, which can be a little tricky. But you really gotta pay close attention to the dotted lines when she's gonna shoot these lasers. Don't focus on anything else. As long as you know when to jump and which direction left is, you'll have no problem with it. Now I think the part where she sends, I'm not sure if they're dog bowls or dog collars. It used to be hard the first time I played it, but the more you play it, the more you realize it's not that difficult. You jump over the red ones, you duck under the yellow ones, and these are the only 2 phases inside this last phase. So once you get used to it, it's going to be a really fast knockout. But a benefit I have of watching all of this video back is I love that I get to watch all of the animations in this game, because the DLC is really beautiful. The original game was too, but the animations are so much cleaner now, especially the story cutscenes. I mean, I'm really glad that they took their time with this DLC. Hopefully they're on their way with another one, or a Cuphead 2, that a pandemic will not interfere with. Because this took way too long, but it is fun, it is worth it, I think. The next fight is from Esther Winchester in High Noon Hoopla. And this one, I think, has some of the most creative visuals in the game. Now, this one also sticks very well with the food theme of the delicious last course. We're no longer fighting for soul contracts, we're not fighting for the devil anymore, we're trying to get ingredients, and we're literally fighting a cow that turns into sausage links. It's hysterical. This first phase has so much stuff going on. She'll shoot ink blots that round back and then explode and come back forward. Little tiny flying cows will go across the screen and spit spiked cactus stuff at you. Vultures fly by and drop dynamite that explode into tiny flaming dynamite. It's a very intense situation here, but as long as you focus and make sure you're damaging her, you should be through with it pretty fast. You gotta remember that this is an aerial level. So even though you have the chaser equipped, you no longer use the chaser. You gotta use the Gatling gun on the plane. Your shots do not track, so you do have to focus on aiming. And this second phase can be quite frustrating. Money comes from the front, from the back, from above, from below. It's flying all over the place. I like to be comfortable and dash and go in the tiny plane mode to navigate through it all, but the longer you stay in big mode, the faster you'll build up your meter for the big bombs, and the faster you'll knock her out for the sausage phase. Now look, there's borderline nothing going on here. She's gonna spit out a steak on the upper or lower, and then cans of sausages are gonna try to attack you. That's all there is to this. Get it over as fast as possible, but take your time and watch the animations of her face when she spits out the steak. It's some of the funniest stuff I've seen. Quite disturbing at first, but very funny. I would advise maybe switching to the bombs when she's on the ground and the Gatling gun when she's on the top. In this third and final phase, you have to navigate the blank space in between the sausage lining while she hawks up hot peppers at you. And I gotta be honest, the sound design for this is so gross and vivid. Gross in a good way, but gross nonetheless. I winced the first time I played this. But just like Dr. Call's robots, you gotta find the in-between for the peppers or gems or whatever, and just keep shooting. You'll get through it eventually. I also advise not waiting up for the big bomb, but rather launching a bunch of little ones. That way you get it over faster. Now, since you cannot use Chaser for this fight, it actually ends up becoming the fastest one on our journey today, clocking in at around 2 minutes and 30 seconds if memory serves. I would probably advise playing this one first if you're getting discouraged on the other bosses, because it'll take a lot less time to get used to and to complete overall. Now this boss right here is probably going to be one of my favorites from the DLC. It takes place in the Prohibition era. You got this bouncer-esque gangster spider running around, kicking caterpillars, dropping bombs, calling in his henchmen, all the time while the police try to stop him. It's very creative and it's very fun. My advice is to get rid of the henchmen first, and pop all these bombs as soon as you can by touching them and then jumping out of the way before they explode. This way you have a nice clear playing field to drop the caterpillars or deal with the coppers as fast as possible, and as long as you stay in the middle, you'll be able to avoid that spider pretty easily. Now, it seems like this part can take a while. There's not a lot to it, and it doesn't feel repetitive though, because it's pretty fun dodging all these elements, and I think the next few fights of the next few phases of the boss definitely make up for it. But it's not very hard. You just kind of have to get used to dodging it, and once you do, you could take notice of all the pretty animations, man. How devilish he looks, how cool it is when he hits the button and the bombs come down, or how he has to make a phone call to get all the cronies to come. It's pretty entertaining stuff. It's seriously a very fun boss fight. Believe it or not, while I was streaming this boss, I was on my phone to check for comments, and I stayed still for about 10-15 seconds maybe, and he never came to damage me. I got away with it. This next phase is pretty interesting. It's like a spoof of the flapper that would be in Speakeasy's attacking you. She attacks with sound waves, and the music actually changes based off of how close you are to these lines. It's super fascinating. And of course, you got the coppers coming in with billy clubs and nightsticks, and literal sentient bottles of booze dancing through coming to hit you. It's a very fun time. For this one, I kind of recommend just staying away from her and kind of on either third of the screen. Pay close attention to the yellow lines because they'll become red, and in no time you'll be on the final part of what I assume is an anteater. This guy's snout and tongue will appear on whatever side of the screen he's looking on, and then he'll shoot his tongue all the way across and grab a gaggle of cops and robbers essentially in a big old cartoony dust ball fight, bouncing around the screen trying to hit you. It's stuff like this that makes Cuphead so entertaining, man. Really. For this third and final-ish phase of the fight, there's really two pieces of advice I could give. Stay on the opposite side of the screen of where his mouth is going to be, and you can actually duck underneath his tongue to avoid damage until he's pulling back more cops and robbers to attack you. And unfortunately, I feel like this fight might have the most HP out of the other two phases, because this really seems to last forever, especially with the chaser being distracted by the little henchman he's balling up and spitting at you. You really gotta have your wits about you to beat this boss on expert with the worst damage setup, but you've had plenty of time to practice. Now, I showed you all of the regular boss fights, right? These are all the regular boss fights you could do in the game. And then there's the final boss and then the secret boss. So for those two bosses, I'm actually going to show you a stream that I did when I first started playing it, of beating them on the hardest difficulty, right, with the worst damage setup. If you want to watch me stream more, you can always feel free to follow me on Twitch. And also, I'm uploading all my VODs to my secondary channel, The Dog Pound. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to myself. And then I let the pink thing hit me in the head, bro. Oh my god. Come on. Come on, laptop. I will give you a break from all these objects on the screen if you will simply just work with me here. You know, last time I played the secret boss fight, it took me a long time. Not really super long, but it took me a while to understand what was happening. Like, you gotta look away or look towards it depending on where you want the projectiles to be projectiling. I know you guys see these jukes though. Bad words equals good jukes. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm really excited to try that secret boss fight again on expert, if there is an expert. If there's not, because I know, like, you're not even supposed to be able to replay that unless you know, like, a special code. Oh, that was so close. Oh, okay, the fire falls from the sky. They didn't spawn on me. Hey, bro, I saw you just said something in the chat. Give me 2 seconds to look at it. Give me 2 seconds to look at that, Chief. Oh, my God. Just give me... Ah! Dude, I'm killing it right now. I'm killing it right now. I don't know if y'all see me, but I'm killing it right now. This might be it. This might be... I might at least get to see... I might get to see the next phase. I mean, well, I already saw the next phase, but... I mean, I might get to see the next phase, like, on expert. You feel me? Come on, come on, come on, come on, man. How much damage, bro? How many of these guys does it take? Come on. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm playing really good, man. I am playing really, really well right now. And if I don't make it, I'm going to be kind of upset. Oh, this might be the run. This might be the run. What is this? Oh, shit. Oh, I remember this shit. Oh, shit. This part is Goopilla Grande. This part ain't hard at all. I say as I get hit. But this next part's kind of nutty. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, I don't have a double jump. I do not have a double jump. I just gotta maintain. Because I don't have a double jump. I got this. This is the run. Oh shit, this is the run. Keep it positive. This is the run. This is the run. Hey, Nutter Butter. You are correct. This was the run. Oh shit, that's geeked. Let's go. First try. Shit, I forgot. I forgot this part's gonna be on YouTube. First try. That was my first try. I'm doing it. Right, chat? Hey, chat. Wasn't that my first attempt right there? I know you guys saw that. It's close enough for our purposes here today. Oh my god. My tailbone hurts so bad you can't even imagine. My fellow Cuphead enthusiasts. My tailbone hurts so bad because this chair was like $5 on wish.com. No, it was not $5 on wish.com, but it feels like it might as well have been, dude. Jesus Lord. This thing was not made for Cuphead sessions. Oh my goodness, I just had a great idea. I should make Cuphead chairs for real gamers. Not none of this fake Call of Duty 2K playing gamers. I'm talking about the real ones, the Cuphead ones. Oh, I think I found a strategy. I think I'm strategizing here. Oh, I'm totally strategizing. As with most things in life, I can find balance in the middle. Well, that's just nice. That's just lovely. Oh, that was so dope. Okay. We're almost there. I can feel it. Yep. First try. Make chair, put logo on it, equals profit. You are correct. That might be what I do. Yeah. Cuphead. Alright, guys. Well, that is it. I just beat Chef Saltbaker S+. No, that's not true. Why am I lying? I just beat Chief Saltbaker with the worst damage setup on Expert, and I just beat the Secret Boss with the worst damage setup on Expert. If you're watching this live on Twitch, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Or if you're watching the VOD on my second channel, The Dog Pound, I appreciate you as well. To all my main subscribers on the Big Boss Dog channel, thank you for watching this. It has been a pleasure. Main channel videos will return this week with this video, actually. And then following, I'll be streaming almost every day on Twitch. I'll be uploading the VODs to my secondary channel. And I'll still be hosting scripted videos on my channel weekly or bi-weekly or tri-weekly or monthly, depending on how I feel. But thank you for being so patient. A year and a half since I put out a video. Welcome to the Cuphead. Welcome to the Cuphead DLC. And I'll see you all later. Peace.